Good afternoon in Dumaguete, Philippines. Yep, close to my break time from walking. I'll wait and see who shows up. See how everybody's doing today. What's going on in their part of the world, wherever they're from. See what's going on with everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put my glasses on so I can see. Looks like Niels Christensen's here. Hello, Niels. Welcome. How you doing, my friend? And we got Fox. We got Foxy Foxtrot here. Welcome, you guys. Yeah, beautiful day. Kind of started my early morning here, and I'm back here again. Um, yeah, I've had a long day. I've been up since 4:30 in the morning, but I actually feel actually not too bad. It's not something that a few coffees can't cure. But yeah, a little different here this time of the day. A little deserted compared to this morning. A lot of people were out at 4:30, 5 a.m. this morning here, not only for the sunrise, but obviously for the exercise. It's a nice thing to see. I don't know why. I always just like love looking at coconut trees. Probably because, where I live growing up in Pennsylvania and even in Florida, there's not coconut trees. There's palm trees, but I don't remember seeing coconut trees. But yeah, I'm rolling along back and forth, one end of the city to the other end of the city. No pit stops in the mall, though. No pit stops in the mall. That's for sure. Trying to see. I'm at some point going to have to put my glasses on because of this, the lighting. But I'll walk for a little bit, and then if the comments build up, um, then we'll go from there. But everybody and anybody, I see comments. I can't exactly see who exactly is here, but um, just doing my thing, my daily exercise, my daily routine. I guess that's my version of my grind, exercising a lot. I enjoy it. I'm motivated to do it. Um, Super nice here today. Dumaguete, Philippines. Anybody's here that's not familiar with my channel, my name's Michael. I'm from the United States, but living abroad here in Dumaguete, Philippines. But yeah, I can't complain. Another beautiful day. Started beautiful this morning. Went to beautiful this afternoon. And yeah, what can I say? I can't complain. Looks like I see David Jessup down there. I see the green. David says flying out soon. Yeah, I think he said something about this weekend, Saturday or Sunday or something like that. So that's awesome to hear, David. I appreciate you being here again. Just, you know, this is my time to chat and talk with everybody and just, yeah, me in the grind of walking every day. Again, I apologize if the screen is shaking a little bit. I'm just holding my iPhone in my hand. I don't have no gimbal on me or anything like that. Yeah, it's so nice, peaceful through here. But yeah, it's like I have the whole boulevard now. Not that you don't have enough room anyway. But, oh my gosh, it's so nice. That breeze feels so good. I gotta tell you guys, the breeze feels amazing. Um, yes, I will transfer to my glasses so I can read some of your comments. Uh, Let me try and maneuver this. I'm just gonna sit my phone down for like a brief second and add my shades, my glasses, and my sunglasses on one because I can't see anything. Ah, much better, much better. Like, see, like, Niels is here, Fox is here. And hey, Niels, if you don't want to be on mod so you look green, just let me know. I know some people prefer green. Fox, you're going in circles today, Michael. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm nonstop. I don't know. I look at that as a blessing, though, too, that I have such energy to keep going. Um, I don't know what other people feel like at 55, but I certainly don't feel like I'm 55. If this is what 55 is supposed to feel like, I'm I'm not complaining. I don't really ever have muscle soreness or aches, but one thing I do as a supplement I take that helps with inflammation, magnesium glycinate. Magnesium glycinate is very important. A lot of people are seriously deficient in magnesium, and inflammation up the neck can cause headaches and whatnot. I don't get any of that. Um, Obviously, if you get dehydrated, you know, yeah, this is where they're putting this manger thing in. I was walking by here this morning, but they've been working pretty quickly putting this major manger for Christmas up. And obviously, this is the back. I'm kind of walking along the back here. But yeah, I'm going in circles. Fox, starting and ending in the same place. Yeah, basically here, there, everywhere. You know, yesterday I was in the mall. Um, Bit of water though. Like, look at the. I just like it's so awesome when the sunlight hits it. You just see the clearness of the water, not muddy, not murky. It's nice and clear. Um, David says, you still are walking. Well, after the live stream, I walked back to the apartment, had my cup of coffee, mushroom coffee, and then had some breakfast, some eggs, always eggs, sourdough bread. Um, I was out of my Angus burgers. I do have to pick those up today at some point when I'm walking back to the apartment. So I didn't have my Angus burger patty with my eggs. So that's all right. Sometimes you just skip the meat, but I feel great. Feel completely energized. Don't feel tired. Again, coffee has something to do with it. Yeah, this is the last year. Remember them having this manger thing that they're building, but it's kind of cool. Um, they're a little putting their light and decorations up a little later this year, uh, but they're getting there. It'll be in time for Christmas, and that's what matters. Uh, Neil says, David, do you have a flight yet? And then we got Ishrat 30 says, hi, hello, Ishrat. Art Park Garden says, and we're back. Yeah. Yeah. This morning was just a little special, and my gosh, what a sunrise. I mean, it was even more. I mean, obviously the sun was rising, but before it actually got up, if you guys haven't seen that live stream, anybody, wow. the visuals, especially at the very beginning of the video, are absolutely beautiful. Um, oh boy, I lost my spot. Oh, where am I at here? Holy crap! I'm way off here. This like moved all up. Oh man, sorry, I'm getting caught up here. Art Park says, and we're back. Yes, Irish or Ishrat says, where are you from? I'm from United States, but I'm currently in Dumaguete, Philippines. That's where I'm at. Mr. Handsome says, Mr. Handsome says, nice ears. Thank you. Mr. Handsome says, are you a police officer? No, I'm not. I have never, ever been involved in any type of law enforcement, but I guess maybe you think I look like a police officer. I don't know. Kind of funny. And we got Lynn here says, hello, Michael. Have a good day. Thank you, Lynn, for stopping by. How are you doing today? Are you doing good, Lynn? Nice for you to pop in and say hello, Lynn. That's nice to see you here. I always kind of get a little chuckle. Don't worry about when you're doing your live streams and other people, say stuff that might make you, feel uncomfortable. Just ignore the noise. You're doing fine. That's to be expected. Uh-oh. Astronaut 110 says, I found out your real name is Garrett Morgan. No, it's Michael. My first name is Michael. My middle name is Lee. Uh, I don't know who Grant Garrett Morgan is, but nice try. But welcome, astronaut. And then we got Vinicius Borba showing the cash money. David says flying out soon. Joe said, how much USD month to live out there? Well, Joe, it's up to you. I don't know I don't know, what lifestyle do you want to have? Rentals are obviously much more less expensive than what I've spent in the United States. And also, if I was still living in the United States, I wouldn't be retired. I'd still be working if that helps. It all comes down to your lifestyle. I've heard people surviving from 800 to 1200 USD per month. Um, One of these days, I'm going to do a video of my apartment and let people know what it costs and show what comes with it and stuff like that. It'll give you an idea. I'll be showing that, Joe. I have another video. If you look on my channel, Joe, there's one that when I lived in Bacolod. I'm in Dumaguete now, but when I lived in Bacolod, there was a apartment I lived in, gave a price breakdown and everything. Can give you an idea if you check that out. But really, Joe, it all comes down to is what's good enough, what matters to you most, your lifestyle, what you want. Do you want to eat out every day? Do you want to buy food and cook at home? Or if you have a Filipino girlfriend can cook for you? There's so many variables. And I'm only a newbie here in the Philippines. I've been going on 14 months here in the Philippines. Been home once since July of 2024, went home in March of this year and came back in June. So I can give you the newbie's perspective, which sometimes that differs from somebody that's more experienced than me. Uh, but yeah, it all comes down to what you need. Are you gonna be hanging out in your apartment a lot? Do you need to be entertained when you're in your apartment? Do you need all wherever you're from? Let's just say you're from the United States. Well, I lived in Pennsylvania, my house. I had all these things to entertain me when I got bored. If there wasn't, I mean, I was outdoors all the time, but I also had to do things to keep myself, like have stuff to entertain me in the house. And here, I don't have nothing. I'm always out. I get up, eat breakfast, whatever, go for my early morning walk or whatever, and I keep myself busy. I'm here to be outdoors exploring. Obviously, my routine changes up a little bit, Joe. When you travel, I mean, you can go right over there to Sikihor Island, right there. You can get on a boat at the port, take a boat 30 to 40 minutes across the water right to Sikihor Island, and beautiful place to visit. So, yeah, Joe, that's like I could be talking to you forever. But feel free to reach out, ask questions, and I'm sure there's other people in this chat that can also help you out as well. But I appreciate the question, Joe. And like I said, don't be a stranger. If you go to my bio and you have questions, reach out to me on Instagram or Facebook. I was once in your situation, needed, asking questions as well. So appreciate the question. Astronaut retracted message. David says hi to Lynn. Lynn says hello to David. Lynn says nice weather. Yeah, it's beautiful here, Lynn. I'm a beach guy. I know where you guys are at is a lot fuller, but I need this. I need to see the ocean to enjoy myself. Me living too far inland and having to travel just to get to the ocean, that's just not me. This is me, you know, having the breeze blowing off the water, cooling you off, you smell the salt water. Yeah, I love it here. Himanshu says, hello, sir, namaste. Where are you from? I'm India. I'm from the United States, but I'm currently living in Dumaguete, Philippines. But welcome, Himanshu. Josh says, hey, Josh, how you doing, my friend? Long time no see. Yeah, as people say, I'm back. Kind of taking a break from my walking. Although, it's funny. When I'm done with my walking, I prefer to stand. I feel like when I sit, my legs tighten up, and I like standing just to like relax my legs, but standing, which may sound kind of weird, but Lynn says Tagaytay is cloudy. Sorry to hear that. But you know what? You're still in the Philippines. It could be worse. You could have freezing temperatures, Lynn. You could have a lot of snow. So yeah, Lynn it lives in Tagaytay with Ray. Lynn says hi to Josh. David says, I'm walking. Yes, indeed. I'm talking. I assume that's what you're saying. Niels Christian says, I can't wait to come back. I'm with you. Man, when I flew back to the United States on March 17th, and on one of my legs, my first stop in the United States on the way home to Pennsylvania, my first stop was Denver Airport. When I landed in Denver, just walking from the gate to my next gate, I wanted to come back the minute I landed. Like, that's how much I missed being here. I love the Philippines. Uh, and I don't blame you, Niels. Gayalko says, hi, hello, Gayalko, pot demon. Guess you like planting pots, or I don't know. Astronaut says, you seem happy. Good for you, little guy. Hey, appreciate it. I am happy, and I get really fired up and emotional and full of energy all the time. And if I didn't have live streams to vent and share my enthusiasm, I'd probably go crazy. Um, I'm just so happy to be here. I mean, just like I said, the simplest things, going out for a walk. You see this. I'm a warm weather guy, shorts, t shirt, sunshine. Uh, can plan trips. No, I don't go away every day. I'm not rich, so I can't afford to just get up and go whenever I want. I have a budget, as do a lot of people, but it is very inexpensive and cheap, though. Hop on a boat over here at the port and zing on a fast boat, 30 to 40 minutes right over here. And there's beautiful beaches, there's beautiful waterfalls, and very inexpensive to make those trips, which I will be going on a trip to Sikihor very soon. Um, it's the best way to enjoy yourself. And just if you're into nature and you love embracing a different culture, Philippines is the place to be, or anywhere in Asia, which I haven't been everywhere. Again, I'm a newbie, still learning. But thank you, astronaut. Josh says hi, Lynn. Nipa 52, welcome. Nipa 52 says, looks like the city of Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Wow, I've never been to Saudi Arabia, but that's interesting that you compare here. Uh, Maybe someday. I wish I could go visit and see every part of the world, but I don't know if I could live long enough to do all of that. Even if well, I don't know. Maybe if you're rich and you could literally just fly everywhere, and I don't know if you could ever spend enough time in one place to really get a feel for it. But I appreciate you being here, Nipa. I'm assuming you're from Saudi Arabia, so that's really cool. Oh, we got Trent. You know what, Trent? I gotta take care of you. Um, there you go. Trent is cool. Trent is on cool. Good morning from Chiang Mai. Welcome, my friend. I appreciate you being here. You've been here frequently enough. I try to help and support people that support me, and figured I'd give you a blue jacket. You definitely wouldn't need a jacket here. I don't. It's warm enough. But how is everything in Chiang Mai, my friend? David says hi to Josh. Art Park says it looks amazing, Michael. Hopefully, we can have a coffee and doom in the future. You know what? I would greatly appreciate it. I would greatly appreciate meeting everybody that has an opportunity to come to the Philippines who's gotten to know me as a friend. You're not a subscriber, you're a friend. Um, Nothing better than the people that I've met here through YouTube that I could meet face to face. Would be absolutely awesome. Um, and then you can really see my excitement in the flesh, not just through a video camera. But yeah, I mean, I just, the simplest thing, lose you guys. I just went down to the bottom. Uh, and now I got to try and find where I left that, which I apologize. There was a little reconnecting going on there, which I'm still in 5G. Sometimes it happens and my signal likes to play games with me, but I'm going to try and, oops, go back. Where did I leave off at? And I apologize. I got to get back to where I left off at. All right, coffee. And then we got Neil saying, I was Navy. Blue suits me just fine. All right, Navy. Navy's just fine for Neil's. I know some people want to wear that green with honor, and I completely understand that and think it's awesome that anybody that becomes a member of my channel with a membership, which is a blessing in itself. I appreciate everybody that's a member. So I get it if you'd rather be green, especially David, former Green Beret. Well, he'll always be a Green Beret, but David says, hi, Niels. Ah, this direction's not good for me. And we got Brian here says, afternoon, Michael. Brian says, afternoon, everyone. Neil says hi to David. Lynn saying hi to Brian. Can't see anything. Hold on. Another thing that happens when you're out walking, the screen likes to get dark. Trent is on cool, says $3 for lunch. Uh, I could get a $3 lunch here. I eat a lot at home though. If I want to go get a quick, inexpensive lunch, I go to a place here called Food Net. Very inexpensive Philippine food. I always get the boneless chicken breast on a stick barbecue, and usually get two of those and a scoop of rice. I don't heck, maybe 180, 200 something pesos. Not a lot. Brian says hi to Lynn. Oh, cannot affect says magnesium what? Magnesium glycinate. Sorry, I'm behind on the comments, but magnesium glycinate is what helps with inflammation of the body, which obviously inflammation, tension, neck is what gives you the headache. Some sort of stress, body tension. Um, you can get magnesium glycinate from food, but you have to eat certain foods. You have to eat certain foods to get that vitamin. But so, yeah, I take magnesium glycinate, take three supplements: magnesium glycinate, organic vitamin C capsules, and organic. It's like a multi. The brand I take is called Pure Synergy. Uh, I guess it's kind of expensive, but then again, I always preach to everybody. Stuff that's more expensive is usually what's better for you. Something that's better for you, or better quality, in most cases, is better. Um, Sometimes you can get find stuff that isn't expensive as expensive, but at least in my experiences, you basically get what you pay for. Um, I need to go under this. I need some shade because I can't see. My apologies. Um, Lynn saying hi to Niels. Uh, damn. Someone say, oh, David says hi to Brian. Chase says hi to Brian. Neil says hi to Lynn. Chase says hi to Lynn. Chase says hi to David. Trent is on cool, retracted. We got Amy Rose fan says hi. Hello, Amy Rose. My name is Michael from the United States, but in Dumaguete, Philippines, at the Boulevard. Nice place to walk. So welcome. Lynn said hi to Che. Trent is on cool, says, I never had a mushroom coffee before. I love it. But you gotta, there's different variations of mushroom coffee. Some mushroom coffee, I think, is strictly nothing but mushrooms. I don't think I would like that. I go with the mushroom coffee that has coffee infused with functional mushrooms. There's like four functional mushrooms. It's like lion's mane, chiaga, or something like that. And there's like two other ones which escape me. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I love mushroom coffee. It has amino acids in it. It has collagen in it. A lot of nutritional benefits from that. And we got Edwin here, my friend from Kansas City, Missouri. I always love that. You always right away when you come in and say hi to everybody, you let everybody know where you're from, Edwin, and I appreciate that all the time. David says hi to Che. Nico Scaliota says hi. Hello, Nico. Where are you from, Nico? Edwin says, Michael, I hope you get 10K in a walk today. Yeah, I'll get my 10 miles easily. Um, That'll be no problem. I always get that. It's just a matter of like sometimes I push it, and I'll probably get more than that today because I got that early start at 4:30 in the morning. But I love it. Like I said, I think the most I've ever done here in the Philippines in one day was like 18 miles or something like that. And that was like an all day kind of thing. Kilometers. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. David says it was a beautiful sunrise. Yeah, no kidding. And I get it. After I watched the beginning of the replay of the live stream, it did look like a green screen in the background. I mean, it literally looked too good to be real. And that's how beautiful it was. And I thought it was cool because I'm doing just the data load with my smart eSIM card, and that I'm impressed when I can get that quality of an image from streaming live like that. Uh, One star. Hey, good afternoon, one star. Thank you for being here. Says, hey, Michael and ma'am Che. Yeah, I think Che's at her mom's at this point by now. Uh, but yeah, thank you for being here, one star. And then we got Michael Merritt says hello. Hello, Michael Merritt. Salih Hameen, 1221, message retracted. David says, hi, one star. Lynn says, I'm doing good. Waiting, Ray, not finished cooking. Well, what's Ray cooking, Lynn? That's why when he asked you last night, what's something you like about Ray and something you don't like, I was waiting for you to say, well, you definitely love his cooking because I know I would love it. I haven't even tried it, but I see enough of it that I know I would like his cooking. Uh, Then we got Michael Merritt saying, how are you doing today, Michael? Michael Merritt, I'm doing great. And Michael Merritt, can you please tell me where you're from again? I apologize if you've already been here. Uh, Sometimes I get overwhelmed trying to remember where everybody's from, but I'm doing my best. I'm surprised I remember more names than I do, like as much as I do. But welcome, Michael, to another Michael. Good afternoon. Well, it might not be afternoon where you're at. Um, Josh says, never had mushroom coffee, but went out one spring and found morel mushrooms and tried them. Again, like I said, that mushroom coffee, the two that I'm aware of, it's deceiving. Like if I didn't tell somebody it was mushroom coffee and just put the scoop in and add the water, it's like instant, but it's healthy instant. They would never know it was mushroom coffee. They would just think it was coffee. So when I took some to some of my friends that work in the coffee shops in Dumaguete and But First and then Cohe, I let them try it, and they added water, and they were kind of apprehensive about. They were smelling it, and they were kind of like, "Wow, okay, it doesn't smell like mushrooms." And then they tried it. They were really impressed. They were expecting mushroom taste. It doesn't taste like that at all. Um, but Josh, if you were here, I'd share some of my mushroom coffee with you, no problem. But I know you can get it on Amazon, but for you, you could just order right from Everyday Dose right online. They usually have a lot of whatever discounts, uh, special days where they offer you like bundles and stuff like that, or you can get it monthly. I know that. I wish I could get it like that here, but I have to. It's one of the trade-offs of the Philippines. Sometimes things that you enjoy when you come to the States, either you can't get it here at all, or you can get it on Amazon. It just takes a little longer for it to get here. But Pixel, the project says the Oma Plata submission is extremely underused and should be attempted as soon as one gets to guard. Pixels, I appreciate you being here, but I'm not quite following you or understanding your comment. Feel free to educate me though. Where my Fastway industry says, where my Wanguf Glifers at? I'm in Dumaguete, Philippines. That's where I'm at. Dumaguete, Philippines, walking on this boulevard, park like, call it like a boardwalk. But yeah, I'm in Dumaguete, Philippines. Fastway Industries. One star says, "Hey, Sir David, Nico. I'm just gonna call you Nico. My day just started and it's not going well so far." Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Nico. Hopefully your day gets a little better hanging out with us. Um, this is happy chat. This is happy live stream. Never a dull moment, but it's always open to anybody that maybe is having a bad day, and maybe me being happy and my inspiration, enjoying life can cheer you up a little bit. So I apologize, Nico, that you're not having the best day. My day started at 4:30 a.m. this morning, watching the sunrise, and I'm always happy every day I wake up here. I'm blessed and I'm living the life. Um, John's here. John, my alien friend, says hi. David says hi. John. Uh, Jay Hex Pogie says it's cheap. There's a lot of stuff that's cheap and inexpensive here, if that's what you're talking about. But definitely, Jex Hoagie, it is less expensive. Food, a little hit and miss. Some similarities to back home. Like I said, I can only compare to the US. There are some similarities. Food is not necessarily that much cheaper, but some things I like and enjoy that I can get here that they import, and you got to pay a little extra for it, but that's all right. You save a lot of money on rentals, apartments, or renting houses. Uh, Fraud Sarah Kane says, "Hello from England. God sees your kindness. You have a heart, and that He sees. Amen. Keep your energy high, and when people have hate in them, say, I love you." All right, you're exactly right. I love you for saying that comment, and you're preaching facts. Um, I have blessings upon blessings ever since I've come to the Philippines. Not that I've never had blessings back home in the United States. I've just seen a good positive change in my life here, and there's no denying it. And you throw in the warm weather, which I'm a warm weather guy, the oceans and everything like that. The best thing I love about the Philippines, and I repeat this over and over again, it's all about the people that I love so much here in the Philippines. It's the people. Because I could have all these other things. I don't know if I'd be quite as happy as I am with all the nature and the beauty here if I didn't have the people as nice and welcoming as they are here in the Philippines. That to me is the first and foremost important thing is the weather, or I mean the people, and then the weather secondary and everything else. It's yeah, first and foremost are the people. I feel I'm like as much as I've embraced the culture here in the Philippines, the people of the Philippines have also embraced me. I've made a lot of friends, Filipino friends here, and I love it. It's a blessing. One star says, "Sup, John? Welcome. Follow his word says, give your life to Jesus and follow God's word, and you'll receive eternal life." not from your actions, but from the fact Jesus died for you. I agree with you. Follow His word. I agree with you. One of the most powerful chapters in the Bible that I've read is Matthew 5, Sermon on the Mount. That's always a great reminder. Read Sermon on the Mount. I read that verse or chapter every day. Um, but thank you, follow His word. Appreciate you being here. Michael Merritt says hi. And how are you doing today? I'm doing good, Michael Merritt. Uh, John says, Sir David. Michael says, how are you doing today? I'm good, Michael. I'm good. Ah, here we go. Fantic Phantom says, do you know Big Lenny on YouTube? He's from Pennsylvania. I don't, Fanatic Phantom, but I think that's really cool because obviously you must know that I'm born and raised in Pennsylvania. Um, if I can remember Big Lenny, I will type in Big Lenny later and do a search and see what I come up with from Big Lenny. But I appreciate you sharing that. Uh, Fanatic Phantom, where are you from? Are you from Pennsylvania? Uh, Mikey, another Michael. So many of us Michaels and Mikeys. Uh, Mikey, Mike Teo says the view is beautiful. You're darn right it is. And if you want to see an even more beautiful view there, Mikey, check out my live stream from this morning. The first couple minutes. I mean, you can watch the whole thing if you want, but you watch the first couple minutes as the sun before it even breaks and comes up behind the Sikihor Island right there. The colors in the sky were actually so phenomenally. It was like surreal. And then when I turned the camera on myself with the sunrise behind me, it looked like it was fake. It literally did look like it was like a green screen behind me. And people were even asking that, is that a green screen? Uh, yeah, it's well worth getting up 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I walk from my apartment to go watch the sunrise. I think I might make that an everyday thing for myself. I loved it. So beautiful. But you're right, Mikey, and welcome. John Lamborghini's here says, hey, Mike, I'm back. It's kind of raining here in Messiah. Yeah, a lot of people have been having rain north of me here that I know, other, friends of mine, vloggers. They mentioned the same thing that they were, I'm going to sit here. They mentioned also to me, they said that they were having some rain, and I've been lucky. No rain here at all in Dumaguete. But welcome, John Lamborghini. Helen Kilgore says, does weather warm year round? Wait, does weather year round? Yes, Helen, welcome first and foremost. Warm weather all year round, 80s to 89 all year round. I lived in Florida for almost 2 years, so I might not be completely at liberty to say, but I met a friend of mine. His name is Michael. Speaking of tons of Michaels, he grew up and lived in Florida all his life. He's in his 50s. And then I asked him, where do you think the humidity's worse, here in the Philippines or back home in Florida? He said he thought it was worse in Florida. So that was interesting because I kind of felt the same way, although I'd only lived in Florida for 2 years. So I wasn't sure if I lived there long enough to kind of judge that. And what about a visa? Basically, for me as a civilian from the United States, I can stay here up to 3 years straight, renewing my visa every 2 months. But you can stay here up to 3 years until you got to leave the country and then you can come back. I'm sure I will leave the country before 3 years, but I just did get my visa extension the other day, picked it up. Gonna make a short little video for anybody that comes to Dumaguete, Philippines, just to show them how to find this whatchamacallit, immigration building, just kind of like in a odd kind of place to find. It's not easy. Yeah, thank you. You got Michelle Pelletier says, yeah, 25 degrees here. Yeah, I'm born and raised in Pennsylvania, so I know what you mean when you say bird. Uh, yeah, lots of cold weather. I don't miss that. I was always a guy growing up in Pennsylvania that preferred the summer, and that was my favorite time of the year. And then it was also the shortest time of the year. Thank you, Michelle Pelletier, for being here. Uh, Kate says, keep talking. Yeah, I definitely can do that. Sometimes I feel like I'm losing my voice, but I appreciate that. John Lamborghini says it's kind of hot in there. Um, I feel good. Uh, yeah, I mean, just nothing compares to this morning. I mean, it's beautiful now, but this morning, oh my gosh, twice as hot at 1 star. Michael Mary, I'm good. 1 star, so David, Dan Vasquez says, Royce is back. Banana tea is good for waggies. Exactly right. And Anton Sultan, I'm sure it is. I can't compare. I've never been there. I do feel like they're building up the Philippines more and more. Uh, I definitely don't walk around here feeling like it's a third world country, if it even is considered. Uh, Jimez Neutron, you look like Lane Kiffin. I appreciate that. I'm not so. It's funny, college football. Yeah, I don't know about Lane Kiffin and his decision. I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, I know it's a business, but as a player, the guy's jumping ship like that. Um, the team's ready to go into the playoffs. I mean, did he really have to make that decision when he did? And we'll see what happens. I don't know. A lot of drama going on in college football. Michigan fires their coach. Just a lot of drama. A lot of drama. David says, "How are you, Josh?" Michael Marin says, "Hi." Uh, Josh Wilson says, "Eating cheese and crackers. Enjoy one, or Josh, enjoy. You're on vacation, remember?" 1 star says, "Subscription to Castaway Drift and support the channel, guys. Good channel." I appreciate that, 1 star. Um, just to bring that up all the time, and I appreciate you as a mod. Dude, I don't look at you as a mod. I look at you as a friend. But if somebody wants to subscribe, that's great. If they want to like, that's great. If they don't, that's great too. Like I said, I'm enjoying myself and I have fun. But thank you, 1 star. Greatly appreciate it. John Lamborghini's asking how David is. Says he's John, that I'm okay. 1 star says, "How's the dog with the travel mess at David?" Yeah, poor Sassy. Alexa says, "I'm a girl." Says, "Hi, hello, well, hello, Alexa, and welcome. Glad you're here. Men, women, Filipino. You're all welcome here. We're all friends. That's good. My name is Michael. I formally introduced myself. I'm sitting here in Dumaguete, Philippines, from the United States, enjoying my life. But thank you, Alexa, for being here. I appreciate it. I hope to see you again. Don't be a stranger. Let us know where you're from. If you're still here, I'm behind on these comments. I think Sassy Dog needs a beer. 1 star's laughing. David says, "Sassy's a bit grumpy right now." Is Sassy grumpy like a Filipina, David? Maybe she needs fed. Mindy Whitmore says, "Mindy from Bradenton, Florida. Welcome, Mindy. Thank you for being up so late. I love Florida. When I lived in Florida for almost 2 years, I lived in Stewart, Palm City, Stewart for a while, Palm City for a while. But yes, if I was still in the United States, I would most likely be back in Florida, but I'd still be working. Unfortunately, I'd still have to be working. But welcome, Mindy. Thank you for letting us know where you're from, too. The ashtray says, "You look like Geo Jimmy from Stray Kids." I wish I knew who that was. Um, yes, the ashtray stay. I wish I knew who that was. I appreciate it. I guess it's a compliment, or maybe it's not. But thank you for saying I look like somebody. I look like Lane Kiffin. And 1 star says, "Soon enough, you will be in Masbate, David. Then you all can settle in. Yes, exactly. Mindy Whitmore says, call me out. That would be great. And where you're from. Mindy, again, from United States. My name's Michael. Born and raised in Pennsylvania. Lived in Florida for 2 years. Was back in Pennsylvania before coming here to the Philippines. Uh, but yes, you deserve a shout out, of course. That's awesome that you're here. I appreciate it, Mindy, Bradenton, Florida. Awesome. Mihash Himab says, hi, welcome. Mihashi Mob. My apologies on trying to pronounce it. We got Catherine Murillo here. Hello, Catherine. Welcome. Where are you from, Catherine? Um, Josh Wilson says, welcome back, Catherine. Yeah, she looks familiar too. I apologize. Sometimes these lives can get overwhelming. Uh, Ave, wow. Ava Mosteller says hi. Ava Mosteller. Wherever you're from, Ava, welcome. Then we got Leon Burhan the second, maybe, says hi. And then Miha Shimabs is from India. Well, welcome from India. And cool. Pop and Slim says hello from Japan. I love it. Japan's on my list of places I want to visit someday while I'm over here in the Philippines and Asia. Japan's always been the number one country that I hope to visit someday soon. I've always had a lot of respect for the Japanese and the country of Japan, and I'm a big fan of Japanese T-shirts with Japanese words written on their shirts. I love Japanese style T-shirts. But welcome, Pop and Slim. That's very cool. Shan does art says hello. Well, welcome, Shan does art. Where are you from? Brian says hi, guys, and welcome. Please like and subscribe. Join in the conversation. Thank you so much, Brian. And Joe Mama, I gotta take care of you. You've been consistently here. So now you got the blue jacket. Erica Rodriguez says hello. Hello, Erica. Where are you from, Erica? Jemama, again, welcome again. Michael Merritt saying hi. Cobart, my name is Billy Slime. Well, welcome, Billy. Where are you from, Billy? Cobart. I'm doing great, Michael Merritt. Zach Hunter says, dude, it look hot out there. Be careful, you'll get sunburned. Yeah, I have my natural zinc, all zinc on my face, but I appreciate the thought. It's kind of shady right now. Sun's behind the clouds, so I'm getting a nice little break, Zach Hunter. But I appreciate the thoughts and the cares. Want to keep me safe. Thank you, Zach. Sophie's here. Please pray for me. My mom is going to have surgery on the 29th of December. Please pray for me, guys. You got it. My prayers, thoughts, and prayers with you, Sophie Allen, you, your mom, and your family. Uh, December 29th, no problem. Bring it up every day if you have to remind me, and I'll keep her in my thoughts daily. Thank you for being here, Sophie. Nico says, I'm not having the best day. I woke up to my wife yelling at me because I woke up late. And last night, someone hit my car last night. So they gave me a fake number. So, yeah, I'm not having the best day. Yeah, that does not sound like a good day at all, Nico. Uh, Seems like you're in a situation. I've had crazy days like that happen in my life. Not here in the Philippines, thank goodness, but you almost feel like what can go wrong will go wrong. I've had days like that, Nico. I guess the only way I ever handled those is you try to take a deep breath, count to 10, and say to yourself, you know what? It could always be worse. I know it feels like the worst, but it could always be worse, I guess. Keep the faith, try to stay positive, Nico, and I'm sorry to hear that. Trent is uncool. I'm glad we're not in the United States. Too much crap and drama, what I'm talking about. Yeah, hopefully the drama works itself out. Sometimes things have to hit rock bottom before they can come back up. So hopefully we're in the rock bottom phase. We'll see what happens. I'm just keeping the faith and we'll see what happens. Erica Rodriguez says the weather looks nice out there. Yeah, it's beautiful. Actually, it's nice and you got a breeze. That's why I have these AirPods in to block out the wind because it wouldn't sound very good. But where are you from, Erica Rodriguez? Where are you from? I appreciate you being here. Uh, Sahil Sethi says, where is this place? Dumaguete, Philippines. That's where I'm at. Dumaguete, Philippines. Sitting here along the water. I do a lot of walking every day. So I'm giving myself a break, talking to you guys, enjoying the live stream. But welcome, Sahil Sethi. And we got Graham. Welcome back, Graham. Michael, hello. Good afternoon, my friend. A pleasure being with you. Always a pleasure having you. Always a pleasure having you. We got Caden Boy one says, where are you from? I'm from the United States, but I'm currently living in Dumaguete, Philippines. Living happy. Every day happy. I love it. Welcome, Caden Boy. So, Travis on Pool said, thank you so much. Blue is my favorite color. Blue is one of my favorite too. I like the color gray as well. Okay, but I like a lot of t-shirts. Plus, I like brown, although this is faded. I like brown also. Rodrigo Honorio Mota. Rodrigo Honorio Mota. And Guillem A. Pilar, Portuguese. So you're from Portugal, I'm guessing. Welcome from Portugal, Portuguese, wherever you're from. I hope I got that right. I tried to pronounce your name, but I appreciate you being here. Thanks for being here. Uh, Sophie Allen says, hi, Graham. Insert Brian says hello to Sophie. Best wishes and your family. Oops. Graham says hello to Sophie. Brian says Superman. I'm atheist, so that is not applicable. It's all good though, Brian. We all still love you. You're still a good person. No denying that. No denying that at all. Graham said, comment, like, and subscribe, viewers. Thank you, Graham. Sophie says, please pray for me, Graham. We will do our best. You know, you got me right there in your corner, Sophie, as well as everybody else. Um, you were brave enough to come to the live stream, and now you have people reaching out to you, and you know that you can maybe get a little comfort and some positivity and happiness and faith. And whatever I can do for you, I will try my best. We got AI with you says, hello from Pakistan. Hello. Graham says, I always pray for you, Sophie. Very nice. Albert Stuff Free Uploads 14, Jeremiah 29, verse 11 says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Amen to that, Albert Stuff Free Uploads or re-uploads. Welcome. Insert Brian says, Superman, he who is without sin. Well, exactly. He who is without sin for the first stone. Sophie says, thank you, Graham, because my mom has surgery soon on the 29th. That's why I need you to pray for me, and we are here for you. Max Boy says, hello, bro. Could I be a mod, please? You know what, Max Boy? At some point, I think this is my first time seeing you. So usually I don't give out mods right away. You kind of have to, I guess, I have to get to know you better and see you more frequently. And then we'll see what happens, Max Boy. So if you come back and show support and you're a good guy in the chat, I can give you that the blue jacket honor. Master Dave says, go vegan. Yeah, I know a lot of people that are vegans. I'm all about health. I'm all about health. Hold on. Hopefully that still works. Make sure you guys still hear me. And Sam Flurry sent a 6135 sent me a gift. Thank you, Sam. I greatly appreciate the gift. I see that it turns into, I guess, a ruby like thing up there. I appreciate that very generous of you. I appreciate that, Sam Flurry, and welcome. Don't be a stranger. Brian says, please keep religion out of the chat. There are 50,000 other channels. Yeah. Um, I got you. Josh says, Brian, thumbs up. Yeah, it gets tough. I try to just read everybody's comments without like offending anybody. So my apologies too for maybe reading off people's comments. Gloria says you don't look like you went through 1 day versus 1 week versus 1 month in the Philippines. Um, I don't really know what you mean by that, Glorious. You don't look like you went through 1 day versus 1 week versus 1 month. I mean, I'm going on 14 months here, so I don't know if that helps you out. We got Aliot, and I'm sorry I can't read what you just said. Tool says sing Puff the Magic Dragon. The only thing I know about Puff the Magic Dragon is Puff the Magic Dragon, live by the sea. Uh, and then I'm done. Puff the Magic Dragon, live by the sea. Yeah, da, da, da. I honestly I can't remember Puff the Magic Dragon. I'm sorry. I tried. Uh Brian says, no, I am just not arrogant enough to think that I have a right to go online and try to get others to believe what I believe. That is not only arrogant, it is borderline evil. Yeah, I understand, Brian. I completely understand. I don't force anything down people's throats. At least I don't think I do. I kind of let everybody be who they want to be. Um, Darth says, nice to meet you. How you feeling today? Darth, I'm feeling great. Very, very good. Thank you for being here. And we got Littlefoot Jules says, Littlefoot says hi. And I was wondering if you do a live stream of wanting to do the interior of Superstition Mountain. Littlefoot Jules, I know nothing about Superstition Mountain, but I appreciate the comment. Uh, Heath Guitar says, what's going on here? What's up with the atheist comments? Is this the theme here? There's no theme here at all. Heath Guitar. It's basically everybody kind of just saying whatever they want. And I'm respecting everybody regardless. But thanks, Heath Guitar. Littlefoot Jules says, watching from Canada. Thank you, Littlefoot from Canada. Sure, you're cold. I live in Pennsylvania, northern United States, and I don't miss that cold weather. Insert name here, Brian says, and you get a nice little buzz about being what you see as spiritually superior, I'm betting. And you get a nice little buzz about being what you see as spiritually. I don't know if I get a buzz, but uh, I'm following you, Brian, I think. Insert name Brian here says, nah, I just got sick of the preaching on a non-religious group. I got you, Brian. Don't let it. I mean, I hope it doesn't bother you. I apologize. Insert name Brian says, well, why come in here spouting that at others then? Maybe you're talking to the people leaving comments. I'm kind of lost. Heather says hi. Jester. I'm just gonna skip reading it. If anybody wants to read his comment, Jester says bye. Jester, like, don't take it personal. It's just unfortunately that's the world we live in. Stovetop said, "Are you Moby?" I wish I was Moby. Moby had some good music, if that's who you're referring to, Stovetop. Brian says, if you believe, great, that doesn't mean you have a right to inflict your beliefs on others. Hopefully I'm not doing that, Brian. I'm just being me. Stone Cold says, Brian, can you just say the sinner's prayer so we can get back to the stream? Yeah. Again, maybe it's my fault that I was reading everybody's comments. I'm just trying to be considerate and of everybody's comments. But yeah, Brian says, good for you, whoever he was talking to. Heather says, everybody deserves to feel love, and God does. Uh, Hello, Heather, and thank you for being here. A lot of messages moved on. Brian says, thanks, Art. Josh says, hallelujah, Art. I don't even know. I missed Art. Uh, I'm too far behind. Uh, Josh says, hallelujah, Art. MWN channel says, hi. Brian says, LOL, Josh. Greg says, hi from North Korea. Well, welcome from North Korea. Greg, welcome. My name's Michael from the United States, living in Dumaguete, Philippines, but I appreciate you being here. MWN says, where are you from? Again, United States, living abroad here in Dumaguete, Philippines. Uh, Dave Gawa, my favorite LGBT streamer. Love your OnlyFans boy. I don't have any OnlyFans. Art Park just says, so just wanted to mention this is the first time I have timed someone out on Michael's channel. No hijacking with religion. When multiple people suggest a break, then perhaps give it a rest. I agree, Art Park. Um, Basically, we're just here to talk about the Philippines. Again, my fault for trying to honor and respect people taking the time here to comment in my live stream, but I understand what you guys are saying. Uh, I guess maybe you do or you don't hear me. I'm not sure. Um, uh, I don't know. I think Michael is having phone issues. Do you guys hear me or taking a nap? Michael taking, I don't think it's me. I haven't stopped talking. Josh says I was on the verge but didn't want to overstep. Insert name Brian says, yeah, I didn't want to do it myself as everyone has a right to talk, but that was getting a bit much. Yeah, I understand, guys. Believe me, if anybody's an understanding person, it's me. Um, Graham said, comment, like, and subscribe, viewers. Thank you. Brian says, but probably partially my fault for challenging him. A lot of people are just waiting for an excuse to get going. True. Mindy says, hey, Mindy, Bradenton, that is 11 where I am. That's right. Yeah, it's 2:01 p.m. in the afternoon, Friday here. Brian says, hi, Mindy, welcome. Mindy says she loves my content. I appreciate that. I try. I try. Nathaniel says, hi. Brian says, 4 p.m. Friday here. Nathan Jamison says, hi. Brian says, somebody zapped him with electricity, Mindy. Phil Meyer with the weather update 7 above 6 inches snow, wind 4 miles per hour. Thank you for the weather update, Bill, and thank you for being here. Oops, lost my spot. Wendy says, Mindy, call me out so I know you're here with me. I'm here, Mindy. Is Bigfoot real? I have no idea. I've never seen him or met him personally, so I can't answer about Bigfoot. Insert Brian says, nice balmy summer afternoon here, Bill. Reactor Shahid says, hey, bro, hi from Kashmir. How's it going? What are you doing? Just enjoying myself in Dumaguete, Philippines, Kashmir. Or Reactor Shahid. Reactor Shahid. From Kashmir. Brian says, hey, Shahid. Wendy says, Minnie from Bradenton. Uh, her Armstrong says it's a lot cheaper there. It looks like warmer. Is it snowy? It's snowy here. Yes, it's less expensive when it comes to rent. Um, from Armstrong, it's definitely less. Let me see here. Why it went to LTE? I'm gonna walk down this way. Um, Judy Villarosa says, "Where are you? Nice place." I'm in Dumaguete, Philippines. Judy, that's where I'm at. Dumaguete, Philippines. But I'm from United States, so welcome here. Brian says 77 degrees in Brisbane. All right. Pam says Armstrong says I can hear you. Thank you. That's good. Just checking. Uh, Patrick says, "What the f? It looks like daylight where you are. It is daylight. I'm in Dumaguete, Philippines. It's 2:04 p.m. Friday afternoon in Dumaguete, Philippines. Welcome, Patrick Stanley. Brian says 77 Fahrenheit for the Americans, 25 for the rest of us. Thank you, Brian, and I appreciate that. Judy says hi. Patrick says it's midnight here in Oklahoma. Welcome, Patrick. I'm born and raised in the U.S. from Pennsylvania, living here abroad in the Philippines, and I absolutely love it here. Short and simple. I love it here. But welcome, Patrick. Appreciate you being up late, joining me for my live stream. Uh, Josh says, same guy again. Oh boy. Nalashier says, bro, why are you a happy man? Because I'm living my dream. I'm a warm weather guy. I'm in the Philippines. I have no stress, ocean, nature, warm weather, and most importantly, the people here in Dumaguete, Philippines are so welcoming, so nice. Um, they embrace me as much as I embrace them, the culture of the Philippines. That's why I'm so happy. I've never been this happy, quite honestly. Uh, Pam Armstrong says, dang, I thought you were in a boat. I guess that's true. It would look like I was sitting in a boat floating off somewhere. Um, that's funny, Pam. That's funny. Mindy says, 1 a.m. here. Philip Philip Rye, can I get a shout out? My name is Nick Gurr. Well, yes, Nick Jur or Nick Gurr, because Jur could be spelled like German, but welcome, Nick. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here from Dumaguete, Philippines. My name's Michael from United States. Living here abroad, been here like 14 months. Um, Bill says 12:04 a.m. here in Iowa. Thank you. And then we got GA Gaz Coleman, Trevor Wallace in the future. I don't know who Trevor Wallace is in the future. Is that somebody I look like? Oh, well, there you go, Philip. It's short for German indeed. Well, there you go. Nick from Germany, I guess I should say. So shout out to you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. We're definitely all caught up on the comments. I didn't think I'd ever get there. Uh, I appreciate Brian, all you guys, mods that took care of the live stream. Brian, yes, I reckon that's him and another on an ego. Where am I from? I'm from the United States, but in Dumaguete, Philippines. That's where I'm at. Parth edits. Where are you from? Scuba Steve says, Michael, good day. Yes. Um, MG says, do you speak Spanish? Uh, the only Spanish I remember, I have friends that were from Dominican Republic that spoke Spanish. They would teach me usually a lot of bad words. They'd ask me to say something or learn something, and then I'd literally say it, and then their family members were saying, Michael, you're saying a bad word. Uh, the one thing I remember when they were all talking in Spanish and I didn't know what they were saying, um, I would say to them, mi amiga or mi amigo, mi amiga. Let's just say it's a guy, amigo. Mi amigo, hablando, mi amiga, hablando, mierda. In other words, they were talking, they weren't talking about me, but it was like a joke. Um, but yeah, that's kind of some of the stuff I knew. I don't know much Spanish, uh, a little bit, but I haven't spoken it in such a long time. I'm forgetting it. And speaking Spanish is like practice makes perfect. Oh no, you're saying I'm frozen. I'm gonna go down this way. I don't know why it's showing LTE when usually I'm 5G. Kind of interesting. Um, let's see what happens when I go down this way. Anybody want to give me an update if I'm frozen? Let me know. My apologies. I'm just letting the comments roll so I catch some of you guys at the bottom. All right, Bill says stream is fine. Okay, good. Uh, thank you, Bill. Because I saw someone say Scoob said something about something frozen, and immediately I thought me. But thank you, Steve. Yes, I'm having an awesome day. I woke up awesome, and I'm still feeling awesome. I've never had this much energy in my life. I don't think. I don't know where I get it from. A little bit of coffee, but um, Brian, oh, he is frozen scuba. Par says, I'm from Dev B, Bhumi, Ultrahan, India, Himalayan side. Well, Parth Edits, welcome to my live stream. Castaway Drift. I'm a foreigner, an American who basically, wanted to live somewhere else, loved the tropical islands, came to the Philippines. So that's where I kind of came up with my name. I'm not a castaway necessarily, but I'm on an island and drift is like, hey, I'm just drifting into everyday life. No stress, no plans, no pressure. Just drifting wherever life takes me here in the Philippines. And I'm happy every day. Every day. Um, Simply blessed and I'm loving life. Uh, Brian says, welcome, Parth. It Dog says hi. Brian says hi to dogs. Nobody special says ego stands for etch God out. Maybe. Uh, I don't have an ego. I'm just Michael. I'm pretty simplistic. Uh, Scuba says, what's up, Brian? We got Hulk Mahai. Hulk Mahai says hi. Steve says, where's the boat? Yeah, these are the only boats I'm seeing. We got a couple of them, two sitting out side by side. We got another one, looks like it's maybe turning around over there. Those are the only boats I'm seeing right now. I wish I had the bunker boats, the races. I actually got this guy right out here fishing with his fishing net. Um, Brian says, yep, that fits nobody. Mindy Whitmore says it looks good. Yes, Mindy, it's more than good. I hate to brag, but I love it here. It's great. Um, Brian says, just about to finish work, Scuba. You. And again, Brian, I appreciate you being here in the live stream when you're working. Just so you know that. I always realize that. I appreciate your also your help. You're giving me some artistic help trying to figure out my banner, my logo for Castaway Drift. I also appreciate that. Still kind of in a holding pattern. I think I still might need your help while I'm trying to learn that side of things. But anyway, Brian, just wanted to shout you out and say thank you for everything that you always do for me. Anna Meme says hi. Connie Fitzgerald says, not sure. I'm just not going to even. I appreciate you being here, Connie, but I just want to talk about all happy things in life. And unfortunately, I don't want to not read everybody's comments, but says Scuba Duba says, what do you do, Brian? Mindy Whitmore says, living my dream. Yeah, that's true. Uh, as long as you can feel happy with your life decisions, that's most important, Mindy. And I found happiness coming. That's definitely. I don't know why it's showing LTE and not 5G. Very interesting. Uh, how much is it a day there? Well, that's a loaded question, Armando. Um, it depends on what kind of lifestyle you want to have here. Cost of living when it comes to hotels or apartments or homes, rentals is certainly a lot cheaper than what I paid for back home in the States. Scuba says, I know you, Castaway Drift, we're brothers. Thank you, Scuba. I appreciate it. Brian says, depends on region, town, etc. Yeah, that's like a very difficult question to answer. Our Park says, I want you to know what you are doing, Michael, is unique. I've been watching this part of the Philippines since about 2010, and lots of people have made the occasional video on the boulevard. I hope it's unique. I mean, it's just me. Um, I understand there's a lot of people in the YouTube world, and I try to be a little different. But at the same time, I'm just being me, and It was like this morning with the sunrise video. How lucky was I to get up this morning and that sunrise was as beautiful as it was? I mean, it was absolutely surreal. And I'm sure you guys saw it, but if you didn't watch my live stream from this morning here in the sunrise in the Philippines, let's check it out. At least the first 5 minutes or so before the sunrise, even sun came up above. It's absolutely mesmerized, beautiful. But I appreciate it, Art Card Guard. And says, but no one has consistently live streamed from there. Keep it up. I'm trying. Again, I don't want to bore you guys either. And I know people say, Michael, stop saying that. You're not boring people. But I do worry about that. I want you guys to have a good time while you're here. And that's why I'm outdoors all the time. So that's why I do it outdoors. I'm thankful that the data works fairly well for me and you guys get a quality video and audio. This is where I'm at. And if there's other people that enjoy this part of nature and want to go walking, I hope hopefully what I bring to the table is something you're interested. But I want to do more and more of it. I want to go other places, not just here. That's why from a YouTube's perspective, I need to be able to provide like if Starlink comes into play someday, then it does. But I appreciate that. Mark. Try it. Brian says I do tech support in precision agriculture, scuba, and telematics. That sounds like a serious job, Brian. Uh, Nobody special. I appreciate your being here, but I can't answer that question. Honestly, uh, I'm not at liberty to actually answer that question. Um, Art Park says Arthur C. Clarke. Two possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe or we are not. Both are equally terrifying. That's very well possible. Yeah. I mean, you never know. Electron gaming is cool. I think your camera needs glasses. Uh yeah, it's kind of bright. At least this way it's not bad. I think in the background, like if I'm like this, I'd say it's probably better. But I was just moving to see if the 5G would improve because it was kind of went into LTE with low bars. Connie Fitzgerald says, how do we get design as we see within the human body without a designer? Somewhere. It came from somewhere. I appreciate the comment, Connie. Mindy Whitmore says, love you. You're awesome. Well, love you too, Whitney. Or Mindy Whitmore. I'm like calling you Whitney. Mindy Whitmore. I'm just going to call you Mindy if that's all right. And Mindy, did you tell me exactly again where you're from? Sorry to ask again. I apologize. But if you want to share where you're from again, I kind of connect the dots with people, especially when you're new. Again, it's amazing how I can remember even this many people. Uh, um, Mandy Mastucia says, we're not alone. She says, hi, welcome, Mandy. Geez. All right, that's it, Bradenton. I figured you were a Florida girl, but I didn't want to say for sure. Again, thank you for being up so late. I'm gonna check this tree and make sure there's no birds in it, because it's like, as this tree here is known to have a lot of birds, and then they poop all over you. If you see the wall, the ground here, see all the poop, see all that. These birds go to town. So sometimes this is like the worst place to stand or sit. So I'm going to go a little further down this way so I don't get pooped on. I did get pooped on once. And then people said when you get pooped on here, it's good luck, which I think I did kind of have some good luck after I was pooped on. That's a little bright. I'm trying not to blind you guys with the sun behind me. And we got Dave says, hi, cute drift. This is Dave in Indonesia. I'm taking an 8-hour train ride today, sir. Well, enjoy that long train ride. I definitely would rather travel by train than traveling by bus, at least in my limited experiences here in the Philippines. I can do 3 to 4 hours by bus. Anything after that isn't going to work. Uh, they don't have like porta potties, CRs, and like, well, at least the buses here in Dumaguete don't. Maybe in Manila or something, but yeah, I've had some bad experiences. I'm gonna go to the bathroom drinking coffee and water on a bus. Uh, Mindy Whitmore says 1 a.m. I'm good. Well, again, I appreciate you being up so late, Mindy, and happy birthday to LaShawn Bowes. Uh, happy birthday. That's all I can say. Looks like I got caught up on all the comments, which is good. I don't know where I'm gonna go next. I already had about 2 coffees today because I started my day so much earlier, but um, what's everybody eating for dinner today? Anybody know? What's for dinner today, Brian? You have any idea? Josh, are you still there? Josh, anybody? You guys kind of quiet. I don't really know who's even here. Um, Art Parks was here. Brian was a little bit ago. Art Park says, do they have public pools in Duma? Yeah, they have some public pools. Yep, they do. I've never, no, I've never gone to any. I know there's one. It's like an outdoor pool that's near this oval track near Silliman College. I think there's one over there, but I've never gone to it. There's a pool for everybody at my apartment, so everybody can use that. Um, but I appreciate the question, Art Parks. Thank you. But they do. They have places people can go and swim at, and even some of the hotels. If you just want to use the pool as a guest and not stay at the hotel, you can swim in the pool. A lot of the hotels, at least the DCCCO hotel, I'm almost positive the pool's open to the public, but only so many people. It's a very small rooftop pool. Mindy says, oh, wait. Brendan Murphy says, I'm here. Well, Brendan Murphy, thank you for saying hello, that you're here. When people get quiet and the chat gets quiet, um, I run out of things to talk about. And then it's like, well, if I'm boring everybody, then, you know, I don't want to continue the live if it's everybody's bored. And then I don't know who's really here. Um, but thank you, Brendan Murphy. Kissing the Dream. I remember Kissing the Dream. He says, hello, pal. 1:20 a.m. East Coast USA. Woke up, our roast beef Swiss, now a cigar. Roast beef and Swiss, man, that actually sounds really darn good. I can't say I've had a roast beef or Swiss cheese. Roast beef of Swiss sub sandwich would be very good right about now. Can't say I've had that in quite a while, kissing the dream. Um, and for that, like I said, you've been around. I'll give you the blue jacket, kissing the dream. We'll see how things work out. I always joke with people and say, don't take advantage of your power of a blue jacket, but you're always here kissing the dream. Mindy, the sky looks crazy. Art Park says, Michael, go for a sweating right now. Says go for a swim, Michael. Yeah, I have the pool at my apartment, so at some point I like the refreshing pool. Plus, I like the exercise. Um, Connie Fitzgerald says again. All I can say, Connie, is God bless you. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, Kiss in the Dream says, I see no direct flight. So where was your changeover at airport on the way over there? My last trip here in June, Kissing a Dream, I went from Harrisburg. Now I paid a little money because I flew out of a smaller airport, but I went from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania to Atlanta, Georgia to Korea, then Korea to Cebu, spent the night in Cebu, got up. I didn't even sleep very much, but up the next morning and went Cebu to Dumaguete, and then I was here. So basically, my flight, Harrisburg, Atlanta, Korea, Cebu. I'm almost positive. And then you buy a whole new ticket from Cebu to Dumaguete. That's a separate ticket. But the only direct flights I've ever heard anybody mention was out of JFK, New York, one of the bigger airports in New York, and they flew directly to Manila. That's what someone mentioned to me. I've never looked that up. I don't know if that's true, factual, but uh, I don't know why someone would say that if it wasn't. But they did say it was direct somewhere out of a bigger airport in New York, right to Manila. Um, Josh says still here. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate you being here. Stone Cold says, where do you swim? They don't they have sewage going straight in the ocean? They do at certain spots. I don't swim here. I've never swam here. There's like little drains that come out of there. I think something comes out of right there. So yes, Stone Cold. I don't swim here at all. I have to go to like Dallin if I'm gonna go to the ocean. I've been in the ocean north of here. It's like still in beach, but it's not like any special kind of beach. Uh, Gowan's the closest, nicest beach that I know of. Well, actually, take the boat, go to Sikihor. You're there in 30 to 40 minutes. That's the nicest beach on Sikihor Island from here in Dumaguete. But you're right, Stone. You're right. J Boy says, "Hey, Michael, what's up, J Boy?" Kissing the Dream says, "Perfect delight, 24 hours." Uh, Took something off he didn't like. Uh, Phil says, I've seen a couple of Duma condo tours and they have the box aircon in each bedroom and no AC in the living room and they want 25,000 pesos a month. Um, Again, when I lived in Bacolod, I paid 22 or 23,000 per month pesos at a bedroom, separate bedroom. It was actually bigger than what I honestly needed. Um, there was an aircon, the split aircon, I think that's what they call it. There's one in the bedroom, and then there was one in like the living room, kitchen, family room area. Um, that was 23. I guess like right now where I'm at, I'm paying 24, but that includes Wi-Fi, which is almost 2,000 itself. Then there's their association dues or whatever. I don't have to pay that. That's included in the price. Obviously, the swimming pool, the gym. Like, so you have some things like that. If I was belong to a gym, I'd be paying how much per month if I wanted an air conditioned gym. You just have to factor in all those things. So I'm looking at like $400 a month for my apartment. I could have gotten a lot less. I was looking at other places, but I'm familiar with this apartment building, so that's why I went back. Um, Kissing the Dream says that's what I saw. What's it like to fly to Korea? That I don't know about. That Korean Airlines I was on, Kissing the Dream. I love that airline. The people were great. The food was really good. The plane was clean. For economy, I felt very comfortable watching movies. The flight attendants were very hospitable. I enjoyed myself on that Korean Airlines. That's one thing I even mentioned to people. Like, I wouldn't mind traveling on. I'm pretty sure it's called Korean Airlines through United Airlines. Like that's how it started. But yeah, I would do that again. I actually enjoyed that airline. Um, Stone Cold says, let's go to Dowan tomorrow. Grab Shay and tour us around Dowan. Pop in and see like travel on your travels. Like I said, I've only ever seen him twice. One time in Quaison Park. He's in Quaison Park near here. And then I saw him, and that was before I went home and moved. That was a while ago. Um, he's a lot bigger now on YouTube than he was then. And then the second time I saw him, I was literally, since it was a week or two ago, I was sitting at the coffee shop nearby, and I saw him walking up from here towards the coffee shop where I went to the other day when I went to Butterford with Shay, and then we walked to, or no, I went to the mall by myself. The one time I brought you guys all along with Shay when we got coffee, I was sitting in there and I saw him from there, but I've never met him yet. I haven't met him yet. I haven't seen Jogo Wonder at all. If anybody wants to know, I've never seen him here publicly. At least I didn't notice. The only people I've ever met face to face are obviously Philippine family life with Leah, her husband Gary. I've met Corey and Raquel from It's Me. I'm very good friends with all of them. Not just the one time meeting them. I know Filipina P. I met her probably my second week I was here in July of 2024. Um, Friends with her. I've shared coffee with her. She's a super awesome person. Great to talk to. You could talk to hours for hours with P. She knows her stuff. Very well educated. Funny as all can be. Great personality. You would never guess she was from the Philippines. She's so fluent. I mean, you guys know. You hear her. Yeah, super super nice. She's probably like the pinnacle of anybody that I've ever met. And yeah, we kept our friendship, and I don't know where she is right now. Last time I spoke with her, I thought she was maybe coming back to the Philippines before Christmas, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Uh, Hold on. But I hear you, Stone Cold. Maybe I'll do that. If 5G, Stone Cold, if 5G works in Darwin, obviously I'd have to test it. I won't know until I get there. If it works, I'll do it. I'll do a live stream from Darwin. Maybe we'll just go to Pura Vida because I'm familiar with that resort and just go to the resort for the day. Mindy said, I love it. Would you fly me out? If I could afford it, yeah, that would be great. J Boy says, have you been using the pool? Not as much as I'd like to. I need to use it more. Um, and it's open until 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening. So we could always eat dinner and go swimming in the pool. Um, but like I said, I need to do a video. People keep, I've said, mentioned, and I want to. I want to do an apartment, although the apartment's very small, studio. But again, it's what you want and what you need. I like it because it's nice, it's new, it has a pool, it has the gym, it has a little game room with a pool table, it has the clubhouse, it has very good security there. That's another thing you're paying for that people don't realize either. There's security guards all over the place. Um, a lot of them are still, they pretty basically know who I am now. We haven't been there that long. Actually, the 15th will be a month, but I lived there before. There was some turnover, different spaces. So, but there's even more. They've even actually hired more security. And that's what you pay for here as well. You pay for the security. So to me, 24,000 is worth it when you apply all those things. Kiss of the Dream says, does police or anyone monitor you, or does your freedom feel unchanged? Is this going to be your long term home? I never feel like my freedom has changed one bit. If anything, I probably feel like I might have a little more. I don't know. Nobody bothers me at all. And again, the people are great. Even people in uniform, security, they say hello, they acknowledge you, and I'm friendly in return. So, uh, respect every one another, and I think that it's just you're gonna get it back in return. And like I say, I'm preaching to the choir, but it's all about the people here in the Philippines. Yes, like a long-term home. I mean, this is my home away from home. David says, sir, I've been making vlogs in Indonesia. You will see soon how friendly the people here are, especially the women. All right, Dave, I'm looking forward to it, Mr. Dave. Oski says, have you ever sucked all the jelly out of a jelly donut? No, I don't even eat donuts. So, yeah, I don't eat donuts. Kissing the Green says Dave travel, very hospitable people. Adrian Garcia says, yo, yo, Adrian Garcia. J Boy says, I'm surprised you haven't bumped into Joko. He seems to be just around where you are most times. You know what? I'm surprised too. But maybe he's out walking about maybe later in the evening. Like I know he's been around the boulevard here in Dumaguete. Um, maybe he doesn't walk around here until later when it cools off, maybe. Um, yeah, I've never seen him here. And it's weird because I met so many other people when I first got here very quickly. But that's right, Jay Boy, you're exactly right. I'm sure at some point, I'm not one of those like go up to people, fan like groupie kind of, when I met Filipina P, she actually came up to me and was like, I think she was looking for people to Filipina P was looking for people to interview and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I met her. She was working, looking for, I think she was interviewing Filipinos for whatever topic she was doing on her videos. But I met her here at the Boulevard, uh, right where I'm at. Actually, there's a 2025 sign over there. It's right here. But other than that, I'm at the 96-minute mark. And I probably you guys have probably had to film me. I think I'm wearing you guys out. I know Brian, some people are working. Wait a minute. What's Stone Cold gonna say? I've watched a young Kenai American couple vlog around here, and they have been dating for 6 years. And you think in 6 years you will still be dating? I, I don't know how to answer that. I mean, I guess that's kind of my mindset, Steve, is like I'm with Shay. We're taking our time getting to know one another. Um, I've learned to not rush things. I had to learn from mistakes. Uh, sometimes, um, I don't know. Like, I just don't want to put any expectations on it. Stone cold. I've had other experiences maybe where I put too high of expectations on things, and then it ends up not going the way I thought it would or should have. And then, I don't like failing at things in life or you're disappointed. So, um, although Kay and I have been in a relationship since December 8th of last year, committed, we've only been living together since June. All that, although like what, June 19th, although that might seem like a long time, um, her and I are just not rushing it. Like living with somebody and getting to know somebody from that perspective, I think takes time. Um, Of course, I love Che. I care about her a lot, and she knows that. Um, I just think it's good for the both of us just to not rush things. And I mean, I don't think I'd be dating in 6 years from now. Uh, I just don't know what the future holds, and I don't put expectations on anything. Just for me, and Che respects that, and as long as you have mutual respect and mutual understanding, I think that's good for a healthy relationship. Um, Kissing the Dream says, great listening to you and your experiences. Jay Boy says, watch Jay pop up. Yeah, she was on here earlier, but again, she went to her mom's later, a little bit ago to visit her. Um, she might still be here and just lurking in the background. Art Park says, you're on the right track, Michael. I try my best. I'm not perfect. Not everything I do in life, decisions in life are right. I just know the best decision I did make is coming here because I am happy. Um, but again, I don't have all the answers. Uh, I just try to live my life as best as I can and be responsible, be respectful, and live each day one day at a time. That's the best thing I can say. Uh, John Lamborghini says it's raining in Visayas right now in the Philippines. Yeah, I don't envy the rain, but again, when it's this warm in the Philippines, rain isn't the worst. I guess if it's like typhoon-like weather, yeah, I wouldn't like that. Wouldn't be that much fun. But uh, Book Buzz with Jay says, "Hey, how you doing, Book Buzz with Jay?" Kissing the Dream says, "Always remember, kiss the dream and enjoy your relationships and appreciate where you're at." And that's the way I'm doing it. Um, I'm, for me, fortunate, lucky, blessed, all those things wrapped up in one. I've met the most amazing, wonderful people, and I'm thankful for all those things. I wouldn't be where I'm at without you guys. I mean, I really wouldn't be. Um, but I truly enjoy sharing my experiences on YouTube, whether or not you're opening yourself up to a whole world and stuff like that. I share what I want to share, and nobody's life is perfect, but I can honestly say my life is damn near perfect here, and I'm happy. So it's just great here. That's the best way I can put it. I'm happy. And again, a lot of thanks and the generosity from everybody here supporting my channel in more ways than one, as well as supporting Shay. For me, it's heartfelt, and I know what I get is just truly a great film. So, Kissing a Dream, are you going out on the sea fishing? That would be a video. I've said this before, and I just need to find them. There's all these bank of boats down around the corner, and these guys go out fishing. I'm sure if somebody knew enough English and I could go up to them and say, "Hey, would you be able to take me out when you're throwing the nets into the water?" Just for something like that, I want to do that. I've talked about it before, so I think that would be fun to do. Um, I think that would be a lot of fun to do, and be something to show you. As long as I got a signal while I was out in the water, that would be great. John Lamborghini says, "Jesus is always on our side, saying, 'I believe you, son, and God is the way and the world life.'" Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it, John Lamborghini. Um, as I was saying earlier, I appreciate all you guys here, and I appreciate you moderating the chat, keeping it from getting out of control. And again, Brian, Josh, Lamborghini, Kissing the Dream, all you guys and the new people here that are being respectful and whatnot. J Boy, Mindy, you being here, Stone Cold. I could go on and on. I hope, the new people, I see you guys again. And thank you for always supporting my channel. Again, I'm not perfect. My streams aren't always perfect. I'm just me. But yeah, like, I don't know if you can see the little boat. It's like right going around the corner. You probably just missed it. But yeah, it's one of those little bunker boats. Um, this is the dream says, just make sure don't bring Marianne, Ginger, and the professor, and it might be a good trip on a sea. No doubt. No doubt. That's the SS Minnow. SS Minnows from Gilligan's Travels. But what was I saying? Yeah, like for me, again, I'm thankful for you guys helping me with the live stream, moderating, keeping things, without getting carried away and whatnot. But again, my apologies for anything that maybe just didn't go the way everybody would have liked or whatever. I try to give everybody an opportunity to speak, you know, if they take the time. But again, I get it. Some people can get carried away. Either way, I get it. Lesson learned, I guess you can say that. So again, my apologies, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So don't ever forget that. And do a 2 hour tour. Is that for Darwin Stone Cold? You want me to do a 2 hour tour from Darwin? Um, 2 hour tour. John says, Michael, don't. get closer to your haters or there in live streams and leave a like, click like and subscribe. Thank you, Kiss the Dream. Again, thank you guys. And as I always say, God bless all of you. And I'm thankful for each and every one of you guys. And I love the support that you give me every day. And you're not just subscribers, you are my friends. I'm in an LDR with many people. I'm in a long distance relationship with many people, and I'm thankful. So, with that being said, you guys have a good evening, good day, good night. And hopefully, I see everybody next time, even the new people. Appreciate your time. Thank you. See you guys.